Hi everybody, gosh it seems so long since I've actually done a video, so I said to Miles that I thought that I would actually do one this time because I haven't done one for so long. Bit of news to begin with. For the coronation of the King back in May, I actually got awarded a Coronations Champion Award certificate, which has actually been signed by the King and Queen. I believe there was only 5,000 given out, so I was absolutely thrilled to get that, so that was really nice, and that's genuine signatures on there, so that's great. We did our charity walk this year and raised about £3,500. We did 50 miles in 23 hours, virtually just stopping for very short breaks. It was very, very tiring, it was very long, there were quite a lot of blisters at the end of it. But we were incredibly proud that we'd done it, and we're already sort of looking at checking next year's to see what we're going to do. The charity has so far just topped 280,000 since we started, so we're delighted with that and still working very closely with Kings and hoping to have a Zoom call with them fairly shortly just to see what the next stage they're up to. The reason I'm doing this video today is because it's actually, can I believe it, 90 months since Charlotte passed away. So 7.5 years later. Does it get any easier? I don't know whether it gets easier. I think you learn to cope with it. You learn that you're not actually going to see that person again. I've been doing bereavement work at school, which has been really good for the students that I see. For myself, we're very open about everything, about how we feel. So I have a couple of students who I saw back in year 10. So they were probably about 15 when I saw them, and I saw them until the end of year 11, till they were 16. And I seem to have them back again now in college, and I'm going to continue seeing them. So we have a really, we have a good working relationship, the three of us. So we do that weekly. Unfortunately, they both lost their mothers when they were only 12 years old. And I was really delighted at the end of last term. They sort of said to me, "Miss, you know, you promise you'll come to our weddings because you haven't got Charlotte's to come to." And I was really touched with that, and I said, "Yes, of course, I'd be absolutely delighted because I haven't got Charlotte anymore." Thing that I miss most about Charlotte is, I think it's just social. It's just having a lady, a woman in the house. It's pretty, no, it's not strange for the boys, but obviously it's kind of a bit unbalanced, having been used to having 4 of us, and now there's only 3, and I really, really, really miss her when I go shopping. That's so hard for me because it's just having somebody there to try stuff on with, and yeah, as I said, it doesn't really get any easier. You just learn to cope with it. And I always say to the students that I see, you know, the black, when it first happens, it's really black, but as time goes on, your life somehow grows around the black will never go, but it will just stay with you. I'm still in contact with other parents that have lost children, and I think we all feel the same. It's a very up and down road. It's nothing can replace that loss, and it really is really hard. And as probably some of you know or don't know, I lost my mother, my aunt and Charlotte. I lost all 3 of them in less than 5 weeks. So as I say to my students, I do know how you feel. You can do courses and things, but for me it comes straight from my heart. I know when they're crying or whatever in front of me how much it does hurt, and it's just sort of getting them through it. That part of my work I'm actually, you know, I'm very fond of doing, and I've seen quite a lot of students. I think probably over the last couple of years, probably about 40 students. Obviously it's a very large school, so there's several there, but anyway. What else has been happening? Not a massive amount. We're just coming to the end of the summer holidays now, and so we're back to school end of next week. Miles, I'm delighted to say, finally got through his PGCE, and he's now fully trained history teacher. He managed to get a job. We're absolutely thrilled locally, which, because he always wanted to stay in Brighton, he didn't really want to move away. So he's got a job very local, about 2 miles away from home. So he starts next week. He starts on Friday as well. So I'm really wishing him the best of luck. Hopefully it will all go really well. We managed to find a bit more footage of Charlotte, and I don't think we have shown this one before. I have a book which I keep, and I'm hoping that we haven't. I don't think we have shown it. So I hope that you will enjoy watching that. Thank you so much for the comments that people leave. Every single comment, I may not comment back, but I do read every single comment. And we're delighted we're still getting a few subscribers, which is great. I'm not expecting a massive amount of subscribers. We don't actually view very much, you know, maybe every few months. It's just nice to come on and say hello to people. Obviously, if you want to subscribe, that would be great. As regards social media, I tend to use Twitter more than anything else, which is AlexEads1. At the moment, what I'm doing on Twitter, I'm going back to 2013. So Charlotte and I kept a diary for the entire time that she was poorly, and I'm going back to 10 years ago to when all this started. So I've been actually telling her story. I've had to get the blue tick because at least I can put a bit more wording, otherwise I'm very limited on the word count. Facebook I use, but not a massive amount, along with Instagram, not a massive amount, but Twitter is what I'm using more than anything else. So if you want sort of daily updates, please follow on Twitter. That would be delightful. I'd really be pleased with that. Anyway, please enjoy the footage, and hopefully I'll see you soon at some point. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Okay, bye.
Hi guys, I'm back today with a video which is, I can't really think of like what to title it, because it's one that is, I just can't put a title on it basically. But it's going to be like sort of top 10 things that are like the most annoying things you can say to cancer patients, and like some misconceptions and like some sort of facts that people don't really know about cancer, because I just thought that it would be quite interesting to share them with you all. You may have had somebody diagnosed, you may have cancer yourself, and you may be able to relate to these, or you may just have an illness in general and be able to relate to them. So I'm going to get started. So I've got 10 points here, by the way. The first point is that a lot of people think that you lose your hair to all types of chemotherapy. As you can see, I am an example that this is not true. Only some chemotherapies make you lose your hair, so yeah, that's pretty much it. So somebody can have cancer and still have hair. And then the second point, which really annoys me, and I have had it a couple of times, is that people think that because your hair is growing back, you're all fine and that's it. That's not the case. I have still got my brain tumour and spinal tumours, so it's certainly not the case. Yeah, basically just that if somebody's hair's growing back, it doesn't mean that they're cured or whatever. So yeah, I thought I'd just say that. Sorry, I keep looking down, I have it on my notepad. I also have like a point that I just want to make because it really annoys me. I've actually got a disabled badge, and whenever I get it out in front of people that don't know me very well, they're like, why do you have a disabled badge? Like, you're not disabled, like you're not physically disabled. The reason that I have that is because when I have my chemotherapy, it makes me very tired, and it's quite difficult to walk for like long distances and stuff. So I have a disabled badge for parking, and whenever I sit down on the bus, and I usually sit in the disabled seats, just because I like to sit on the bottom floor, and some of them are like, say, you know, if there's somebody disabled, you know, go up your seat or whatever. And sometimes when it's really busy buses, well, mainly elderly people in general will look at me in like a really disgusting manner, like I'm clearly not disabled and that I'm taking up somebody's space and stuff. And it hasn't happened yet, but I am just waiting for the moment for somebody to say to me, why are you sitting in that seat? You're not even disabled. And I'm just going to get my blue badge out and just be like, actually, I am, and I've got cancer. But that opportunity hasn't come around yet. But yeah, that's something that annoys me a lot, is when like I'm in a disabled parking space or whatever, and people just automatically think I'm not disabled. My point number 4 is when people say to me, you don't look like you have cancer, you look really well, and like they sort of think I'm lying. I've had a couple of situations where You know, the people on the street that try to get you to like sign petitions and like sign up for things. And there was one that was for like hearing, and I said to the person who I was speaking to who asked me, I said, well, actually I'm half deaf. And then he was like, oh right. And I said, because I have cancer, I lost my hearing to that. And then he sort of looked at me, and I think he thought that I was lying, which is really bad, obviously. But yeah, the fact that people just say like, but you don't look like you have cancer. Well, I do. You don't need to look like you have cancer to have cancer. The fifth point is, this is more of a fact. So I had a seizure September 2013, and I was banned from starting to learn to drive for 2 years. So this September I'm allowed to start driving. But yeah, I thought I'd just throw that out there, that if you have a seizure, you're banned from driving for 2 years, which is really annoying. The sixth point is about travel insurance and how much it goes up in price if you have not just cancer, any illness, any serious illness. It's so irritating because I was planning to go to America, and the insurance, they said, was, they didn't actually give a price in the end, but it was something just astronomical, like ridiculous. And because of it, I'm not going to go to America now because it's just so much money compared to a normal, you know, insurance company. I think they may rip you off a little bit too. Yeah, anyway, each to their own. The seventh point is, it's again, it's sort of like a fact. People call cancer patients that are on steroids moon face, because literally when I was on steroids I gained, I think 3 or 4 stone. I went from 8 stone something to like 11 stone something in the space of about a month, which was just awful. I couldn't fit into any of my clothes. I was just totally upset. I hated it. And yeah, that's just a fact that if you take certain steroids that you've been put on, your face just swells up. It just, I do have some photos. I may be able to insert them. I probably won't. I'm not that good at editing, but yeah, your face just totally swells up, and yeah, it's called a moon face. The next one is point number 8, and that is again another fact. I already made a video on this post-traumatic stress, but a lot of people that have experienced cancer or any sort of dramatic illness or anything do tend to get post-traumatic stress because everything's been a massive roller coaster and non-stop and appointments and doctors and whatever, and then suddenly when it all starts to slow down, you just sort of sit there and you think like, whoa, like that was just crazy. And yeah, so that's really common in people. The next one is number 9, and it's sort of similar to the one where I said about you look so normal. Lots of people think that like you have to look really ill to have cancer, and when I was really ill, I did look extremely ill. But it's kind of annoying because people sort of just like look at me and are just like, but you don't look like you have cancer, as I said earlier, you know. Yeah, it's just it's sort of going back to my previous point, but yeah. And then the last, I have 2 more actually, is 11 points. The next one is that I have to have blood tests weekly, and it's so irritating. I have to have a nurse come round to the house and do my bloods for me weekly because they need to keep an eye on them, and it's just, it only takes about 5 minutes, but it really sort of does prevent me from doing stuff that I want to do. And like, I can't stay around people's houses if I have bloods the next day because I need to be back really early, and it's just really annoying. So I think that might be quite common for a lot of illnesses, that you have to have blood tests quite frequently. And then my last point is about tablets. When I was first like diagnosed, I had to be put on 50 tablets a day. It was crazy. It really was. I just remember having this little cup of like 25 tablets, I think, because every day I tried to see how many I could swallow in one go, and I think I got possibly 30 tablets in one go. But yeah, that was just crazy. And just in case you wanted to know, I'm now on 11 tablets a day, which is still a lot. Like, you know, I have them in the morning when I first wake up, and then at 12 o'clock, and then at 4 o'clock, and it's annoying when you don't have any water or anything with you. But yeah, I just sort of wanted to make this video just because I thought it might be quite interesting, and also sort of partly things not to say to a cancer patient. One more point actually. One thing that you should never say to a cancer patient, because it will just annoy the hell out of them, is when they say, like, if a cancer patient or somebody says, like, I'm losing my hair, even somebody with alopecia, I'm losing my hair, and then people say, yeah, but it will grow back. It's like, you're totally missing the point. The point is that right now I haven't got any hair and it's not growing back. So you saying that is just going to irritate me, isn't it? You know? I mean, the amount of people that sent me texts and things like that, and I was just like, but you don't get it. Like, you've never lost your hair. And I know that people say it in the, in the nicest way to try and be helpful, but it's really not helpful, I have to be honest. So yeah, that was my 12 points that I wanted to make, and yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'm going to be starting to upload like quite frequently now. I know I said that last time, but this time I am going to do it. So thanks for watching my video, and I'll see you guys soon. Bye!